Have you ever worked with someone so lazy, you started to wonder how they even had a job? Now imagine that person not only slacking off, but dumping their work on you and taking all the credit for it. That's exactly what my coworker Seth did for months, until I found a way to make him finally pay by tricking him into sabotaging himself. If you've ever been stuck cleaning up after a coworker who couldn't care less, hit that like button, because this story is about the day a lazy office leech finally faced his own karma. I've worked at a mid-sized marketing firm for about 3 years. We're not a huge corporation, but big enough that everyone's performance actually matters. At least, it should. Then there's Seth. If laziness was an Olympic sport, this guy would have been a gold medalist. He'd stroll in 30 minutes late every day, coffee in hand, mumbling about traffic. He'd take bathroom breaks that lasted half an hour. And when he wasn't pretending to be busy, he was glued to his phone, laughing at memes while the rest of us scrambled to meet deadlines. At first, I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. We've all had off days, right? But soon it became obvious Seth wasn't overworked. He was just lazy. And unfortunately for me, I became his favorite target. It started small. He'd lean over my desk with that fake friendly grin and say, "Hey, could you just help me finish this report? I'm swamped." Swamped, as in scrolling through Instagram, apparently. Then help turned into do it all. Before I knew it, Seth was dumping entire projects on me, emailing clients under his name using my work, and then bragging about his accomplishments during meetings. The first few times, I bit my tongue. I didn't want drama. I thought my boss would notice on his own. But Seth was clever. He always had excuses ready. "Oh, I collaborated with my name. We're a team." Or he'd charm his way out of accountability. Meanwhile, I was burning out. Late nights, weekend emails, anxiety every time my phone buzzed. I went to my boss twice. Both times, Seth spun the situation like a pro manipulator. He'd smile, act clueless, promise to do better, and walk away clean. And I was left standing there like an overreacting employee. Everything came to a head one Thursday afternoon. Our team had a massive client presentation due in 2 days, a report worth tens of thousands in contracts. Guess who was assigned to lead it? Yep, Seth. And guess who he dumped it on at the last minute? Also yep, me. He emailed me at 4:57 p.m., literally 3 minutes before closing time, saying, "Hey, can you take care of this? I'll owe you one winking face." I remember staring at that email, blood boiling. I'd been carrying this man-child for half a year, and now he wanted me to save him again. That was the exact moment I decided no more. I wasn't going to confront him. I wasn't going to beg my boss. I was going to let Seth destroy himself. The next morning, I approached him with a calm smile and said, "Hey Seth, I've been thinking, I can help you with that report. But do you know Excel pretty well?" He looked up from his phone and laughed. "Excel? Not really. I just paste the data and hope it looks good." Perfect. That single sentence sealed his fate. That night, I built his spreadsheets, but with a twist. I embedded hidden formulas inside certain cells, subtle enough that only someone who actually understood Excel would notice. They didn't delete anything. They just scrambled data slightly, switched decimals, shifted columns, auto-adjusted percentages incorrectly. So when you looked at it, everything seemed fine, until you started copying or calculating things. It was digital chaos disguised as order. I spent hours testing it, making sure it was invisible to a casual user. Then I emailed the files to Seth with a simple note. "All done. Just plug these into your report." And waited. The morning of the client presentation, Seth walked into the office like a king. He was humming, sipping his coffee, cracking jokes with people who were too polite to ignore him. I stayed quiet, just watching. About an hour before the meeting, our boss asked for a final copy of the report to review. Seth opened the file and froze. Numbers weren't adding up. Charts were missing labels. Sections of data were flipped upside down. He started clicking faster, panic creeping into his voice. Why are these percentages wrong? He tried copying everything into a new sheet, and it got worse. Every paste scrambled things even more. Meanwhile, the client was waiting on the other end of a Zoom call, ready for the big presentation. Seth's face went pale. He looked like someone had just unplugged his brain. He turned to me, voice shaking. "Hey, something's wrong with these files. Can you check them?" I leaned over, pretending to frown. "Weird, maybe a glitch. Try refreshing it." He did, and it only got worse. Now whole sections disappeared entirely. The client, getting frustrated, started asking questions. "Why does this data look different from last week's version?" Seth was sweating through his shirt. He stammered something about Excel updates, formatting issues, and technical difficulties. Our boss's jaw tightened. The meeting ended early, and Seth looked like he might cry. For the rest of the day, Seth tried to fix the spreadsheet, but every move made it worse. He kept hovering around my desk, mumbling things like, "This never happens to me, man. I swear something's wrong with the system." I played dumb the entire time. Yeah, maybe IT should check it out. By 5 p.m., he'd been at his desk for 8 straight hours, for the first time ever. But it didn't matter. The report was beyond saving. The client called again, furious this time, demanding answers. Our boss called Seth into his office. Through the glass walls, I could see Seth gesturing wildly, trying to explain. Then the boss's face turned red. 10 minutes later, Seth walked out, eyes down, pale as paper, holding a small box of his things. Temporary suspension without pay, and one more performance review away from being fired. The next Monday, I came into work early. The office was peaceful for once. No stupid jokes, no fake emergencies, no freeloading. My boss stopped by my desk and said quietly, "Thanks for stepping up lately. The client knows you weren't responsible." I nodded, hiding my grin. Just doing my part. The best part? Seth's suspension got extended indefinitely. Rumor has it, HR found multiple complaints about him slacking off and lying about his workload. By the time he returned a few weeks later, the boss had reassigned most of his responsibilities. He wasn't the golden boy anymore, just another employee who everyone now watched closely. He never tried to dump work on me again. In fact, he barely spoke to me at all. Climactic revenge payoff, 1 minute. I can't describe how satisfying it was to watch karma unfold so perfectly. He'd built his little tower of excuses and charm, and I just gave it one gentle nudge. He destroyed himself, and I didn't have to raise my voice, file another complaint, or even break a sweat. Reflective wrap-up, 20 seconds. Sometimes revenge doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be cruel. Sometimes, the sweetest revenge is watching someone's own laziness come full circle. And when it finally did, I didn't even feel guilty, just relieved. If this story gave you that deep, satisfying sense of justice, hit that like button and tell me in the comments. What's the worst coworker you've ever had? Don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this, because sometimes karma just needs a little push.